I feel a little nervous, and I don't feel really good about asking this, but since I have Rob Riches here, it's something that was really obvious, and he, you know, supposedly tested positive for steroid use or whatnot, and that kind of hurt your fans. You know, I was looking through some of your videos, and a lot of people was like, oh, he's not natural, or one thing that I read, and it was pretty negative. It's like, what is it, Rob Roids Riches, something like within those, you know, terms. And me, you know, growing up watching you, I always thought you were natural as well. So you let down a lot of your fans when that information came out. So I just wanted to confront you about this right here, and I mean this in the most respectful way possible, but if you can just let us know what happened, because I feel people just went off of what they were reading, right? And that's where they get the information from. But it's just like, I just wanted you to clear that up and either admit that you probably were doing it and you made a mistake, or is it something that was false? Was it not true?
Wow, we're going there. All right. Just back it up a little bit. I failed a drug test for what?
From what I remember, for steroids or something, yeah.
Where did you read or see that or hear that?
It was just the word going around, and then, you know, different people making different titles, putting different, you know, different blog posts about you failing and not being natural. So that's where I got it from.
All right.
If you search up on Google, it's like,
no,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. What are your thoughts? I mean, you've seen me train, you've seen the condition. Like, let me ask you, do you think I'm on steroids?
What I would say, it's really difficult, because seeing you in the gym, you work really hard, you're extremely knowledgeable, so it makes sense that you would be natural. But then again, I can see it from somebody else, you know, who's been training all the time, who's dieting, who's following your instructions to the T, but they still don't have that physique that you have. So it's easy to say, yeah, man, he's not natural. That's why I can relate to people who are saying he's not natural.
All right, let me just set the record straight here, because even though I put it out in various forms, I haven't spoke about it on video, and you've asked me, so now's the perfect time. So I failed a drug test. What people think it was for, it just started with accusations and people just basically spreading lies. Numerous YouTube videos and websites and articles, most of which, like, I'm fighting to get taken down because it's just incorrect facts. The ingredient that I got flagged for was, it was in a pre-workout. I put the full post up on my website. You can go to Rob Riches Fitness, go to articles or other information, and there's the actual findings, the listings from the analytical data, and you can contact them. It's like, you can see the exact ingredient that it was. I don't need to mention the name of which product it was in. They've got a lot of lawsuits against them. Just smart people, just go and find it out. You can search. It was in a pre-workout. It was a spiked ingredient. It's happened to numerous other athletes, certainly in Australia. A lot of stuff people don't know just because I didn't want to put out there. Like, this company actually contacted me after. They wanted me to take down the blog. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you spike a product, and I lost the title. I got banned from an organization for 6 months because of the failed drug test, which I can't fight. I failed a drug test, but it's the ingredient that it was for, which is the big thing here, not Anavar or any of these other drug-based substances that people are claiming. Look at this, put your arm out. We talked about this earlier.
All right.
For anyone who thinks I am on something, how tall are you and how heavy are you?
Probably about 5'9", around there, about
right, so
160.
So I'm maybe an inch taller than you, like 5'10", and probably 10, 15 pounds heavier. Just put your arm out. I know you can't see this on camera, but I can pretty much touch, certainly with those fingers,
right, they're
around my wrist. It's barely, like, I can barely touch them compared to mine. Wow. I can get them fully round. My wrists, my joints are small, right? And at my height and build, and bearing in mind, you can look back from photos 10 years ago. My first competition, every competition, photo shoot, it's all on YouTube and other social media sites. My build is pretty much the same. I've got a little bit thicker and more detailed. I'm a little bit less conditioned at times, but I'm pretty much the same. I don't go from this to this. So I've been consistent first and foremost. Secondly, you've seen how I train. I lift heavy, I lift with good form, my diet is pretty consistent and clean. Why wouldn't I be able to build lean muscle mass and sculpt my body? If I was sat here at 198, 200 something pounds at my frame, and I'm sat like this, okay, you can question me a little bit more, but 175, 178 pounds at 5'10" with smallish joints. And I had one guy who claimed that I was on certain stuff, and he knew that as a fact. He also said right after, look at the guy, he's as big as Arnold. You've seen Arnold, haven't you?
Oh my God.
He trains at Gold's.
Yeah.
Am I as big as Arnold?
Not at all.
Okay, so if he's saying that, how can you believe other stuff? Just look at the facts. So
have you ever experimented with something, maybe when you were younger, or maybe for 1 week, 1 month, just something that wasn't consistent, but you just experimented? Have you ever done that?
Everyone thinks this. No, I've been offered it, and has it been a temptation? Yeah, when I've been younger, it was like the magic beans. If someone offers me this and they're like, you can get bigger, you'll put on 10 pounds of muscle. For a 20-something-year-old kid interested in bodybuilding, yeah. But no joke, this is where it started. When I first got into training and I was at school still, I'd come home and I'd have creatine in the cupboards, like my mum and dad's house. Protein, creatine, and my mum questioned me one day in the kitchen. She said something to the effect of, you better not be taking steroids. And she got this creatine thing out. And I had to explain to her, I'm like, Mum, this is a supplement. It's a single ingredient. You can buy it from a health store that you buy everything else from. It's creatine. And she said, she goes, promise me you won't take any steroids. And I made that promise. And I think that's why I value my health. And if people want to take steroids, it's up to them. Here's my way of doing it naturally. People can claim I'm not natural, but that's just their opinion.
How does it make you feel when people who are like loyal fans of yours and just your whole reputation is just goes through a downward spiral, and people are spreading things that are false? And it hurts me that I even had to ask you that, because I believe you. I definitely do believe you, and I'm saying that because I'm genuine. I genuinely believe you. Just looking at you, but one thing that really sold the deal is seeing you in the gym. That sold the deal for me. But how does that make you feel when people say things like that? How do you deal with that negativity, and just how does that make you feel as a person?
What people don't know about me is, like, my friends and family, they see me when I'm not in front of the camera, and you've got this big kind of energetic personality. I'm quite private, emotional. You say things to me, I might take it the wrong way, get down. It's like, that's who I am. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So when I read these comments from people saying they've been following me for years and then accusing me, and say, like, it hurts, because I want to talk to them like this, and I can't make everyone see like the truth. Basically, they're just going to believe what they want to hear and see. Like that's one of the hardest things. And I want to have a platform and talk about it and put it out there, but then it just opens up more. Part of me is it's part of my history. It happened. People are going to think what they think. I'm just going to keep moving on. Just like with that diet, I'm just going to just carry on and just do what I want to be doing. And there's plenty of people who come up and say, like, listen, man, it's BS what they're saying, and I respect and follow you, and that means so much more. But I always point them to that the information's out there. You know, if they want to see what it was for, yeah, I failed a drug test. Could have been for caffeine. You know, caffeine on the Olympic International Committee. Yeah. You have too much caffeine in your system, you failed a drug test.
Wow.
So if you failed a drug test, does that mean you're not natural?
No.
It means that you've taken something that a group of people have said. Now, yeah, there's lists and lists of banned substances, diuretics, steroids, growth hormone, whatever it might be on there. None of that showed up in my urine sample. So I don't know how people are claiming that's what I got banned for. I don't know where. Can they show me? No, because there's no evidence out there. It doesn't exist. Yeah. That's the thing that gets me. If I didn't have the report and it's just hearsay, then okay, it's my word against theirs. But